Hi everyone, Vincent Wynn here for Gear and Android Community. I've got the new Xperia Z running on T-Mobile LTE network to give you a quick walkthrough. So it's basically the same Xperia Z that we've already reviewed on Gear, but what's really special about these two devices is that they now will be offered on T-Mobile's LTE network, and by default, if you're in an area that doesn't have LTE, T-Mobile is going to default down to 42 megabit per second, which is pretty awesome because that's pretty super fast speed. So before I start going into the quick walkthrough of these two devices, or one in two very different colors, black and this deep purple here, I have to say this is the Z is possibly one of my most favorite Android device that I've reviewed. I mean, I'm short of saying, without the risk of upsetting a lot of fans out there and OEMs, that this phone is probably the best Android phone I reviewed in the world to date. Why? Because it's got a beautiful 5-inch display. I mean, it's literally one of the best I've seen on the market today, next to the Retina display on the iPhone, of course. 5-inch display, SLCD version 2, front-facing camera. This is as close as, the Z is probably as close as you're going to get to a true Google Android stock Android experience. So, there are no physical buttons. The only two buttons that you're going to get, well, three if you count the rocker up and down, but the power button is super intuitive. If you're using your left hand, your middle finger is going to touch it. If you're using your right hand, your thumb is going to touch it. So for me, turning on and off the device is the one thing that I do the most throughout the day. Other manufacturers put the power button up here on top or on the side here. I can tell you that if once you hold the Z in your hand, it just feels really nice. It has a premium feel to it. Speaking of touchy-feely, the back is glass. It feels really nice versus plastic. The casing is water resistance, up to 30 minutes underwater. All the ports, such as the micro USB for charging and syncing. Unlike the HTC One, the Z has a memory card expansion slot. Charging pins, if you want to use Sony's charging dock. 13 megapixel camera, flash mic, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, power button, volume rocker up down, mic here, speaker. I've already mentioned a front-facing camera. And speakers are along here. My only gripe is if you're using the device with your right hand and you're holding it like so, you're going to block the sound coming out of there. So you're going to have to kind of loosen up your grip a little bit or use it with your left hand. The gut is running Qualcomm S4 Pro. This whole thing is waterproof. It is amazing. And all I can say is that I've used this for a number of things. For example, I reviewed the Galaxy S4 Active with this in the water, under, above, you name it. It's just extremely convenient to have, whether you want to listen to your music in the shower or whatnot. But speaking of being in water, the speaker does get muffled quite a bit once it gets wet. I kind of had some bad experience with the mic performing poorly. A day or so after being in the water, it sounded like there was some muffling sound when I was recording some videos. So, I don't know if that's a fluke or whatnot, but I'm hoping that doesn't happen. So, again, in the future. So, like I said, this is the closest you're going to get to a stock Android experience. Swiping up will give you Google Now. Swiping down will give you the notifications. Now, looking at looking at what Sony has done is quite amazing. Power management. Yesterday, I ended up getting, without using stamina mode, I got 17 hours and 45 minutes of heavy usage with nearly over 3 hours on and standby and things like that. I mean, streaming music, I mean, it was just outrageous. And that was on this purple one here. So let me give you a quick walkthrough of one of my most favorite feature on the Z is the camera. I mean, it's got this super superior auto mode. It basically handles all the different modes for you in terms of, I mean, if you've got, like, for example, I've taken pictures of my daughter and it knows that there's an infant. I don't know if you can see it. It'll kick into infant mode, or if there's bright light in the back, like right there, it's now showing me an infant mode. And if I get closer, it'll change to macro, or if there's bright light in the back, it'll change to backlighting. As for video recording, this is one of the first. Hang on a second here. This is one of the first device with HDR recording. Now, let me warn you that with HDR recording, you need to have a steady hand, because if you don't have a steady hand, what happens is that as you're recording, the video does stutter a little bit. I've had nothing but really good experience with the video quality and as well as still photography. So I love this camera. It's one that I really rely on quite a bit for taking pictures. Normal mode. You've got a plethora of options to go through. Sweeping panorama, picture effect, burst mode. Basically, you can literally shoot this thing to death until it's out of memory. I mean, it's that crazy. So let me see here. I think I've got a memory card in here. Let me show you how amazing this burst mode is. It just keeps on shooting and shooting and shooting. Okay, so let's change the mode to, let's see, burst mode. Focus. And it just keeps on shooting. It processes extremely quick. Right there, I just took 10 shots. As you can see, the camera button. It's really, really cool. Now, in terms of, let me see here, without jumping back and forth. In terms of experience, if you look at the gallery, it's kind of cool because if you keep pinching in, it's going to, make your images so tiny. But watch, as I zoom out, you can literally, these pictures were taken with this phone. Just the details is just staggering. So then, if I want to look at all my pictures at once, I just basically zoom in, pinch in, and those are all the pictures I've taken with this phone. The performance is just that awesome. Now, let me jump back to the battery thing real quick. So if you're traveling and you really need to conserve battery, go into power management, turn on stamina mode. Let me actually use this phone here for this demo. Go into stamina mode. Make sure the camera's focusing here. And basically, you can control how many apps stay alive in the background if the phone's in standby mode. And check this out. So if I turn off the stamina mode, I'll have 15 hours estimated usage. Or if I turn that on, I have 2 days. You can also control low battery mode. I like this because it knows when I'm home, it'll turn on Wi-Fi for me, and when I'm gone, it'll turn off Wi-Fi automatically, and that's a huge battery saving for me as well. And then battery, of course, will give you usage. And there are other apps that Sony installed. So, they're not really worth mentioning because we've already reviewed the Z in detail. So this is just a quick walkthrough. I want to show you of my experience so far with this device, and all I can say is that I absolutely love this phone. I can't stress that anymore. So with that, I do want to go back to the hardware real quick and mention that if you're going to go with a black, just be prepared to for it to be a lit magnet. I mean, it just attracts everything, and you'll see it because it's like a really dark, deep, glossy black. But if you go with the purple, it's not as noticeable. So, I mean, I love the black, and I like the purple as well. You know, for me, either one is going to work. It's just that they're both extremely good looking. They're handsome. And check this out. They should stand on their own. Just like, oh, sorry, you can't see that. Yeah, move it over here. So if you need to take a picture or something of yourself, just stand it up and you're good to go. Hope you check out my review on slashgear.com. And if you have any questions, just ping me, and I'll try to help you or help answer any questions you have on these two devices. Oh, one more thing, almost forgot. LTE on T-Mobile is amazing. I haven't reviewed a T-Mobile device in a while, but in some peaked area, I was able to get like 46 megabit per second. Around my house, in Gilbert here, we do have LTE, and I'm averaging a good 8 to 10 megabit per second, so I'm a very happy camper. Other times when I'm not in LTE, I am getting, 3 to 4, so I can't complain in terms of speed. So my only gripe is that, or my only concern is that I just wish the Z is offered on more networks, such as Verizon or AT&T, because we like all three of the major carriers: T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T. Unfortunately, it is exclusive to T-Mobile. For qualified credit, it's $99 down and $20 a month for 24 months, and you get to take this awesome device. It's super lightweight. It feels so good in your hand. I mean, everything is just fast. And the display is just absolutely gorgeous. And oh, before I forget, I've got so many things to talk to you about. I'm just running out of things here. Just jumping all around. The video on this display is powered by the Bravia mobile engine, and let me tell you, when you're watching a video, let's say on YouTube or a movie, it just comes to life. I mean, it just is pretty awesome. I haven't been this excited about a phone in quite some time. So let's just bring up an example here of, oh look, we had an interview with Woz. Show you what it looks like. And it's in HD. You can see the speaker is right here.
Okay, so I'm Craig with Slash Gear, and we have Steve Wozniak here with us.
Pretty cool, huh?
First, I want to start off by...
just look at that. Look how clear that is.
Cars. You mentioned how you preferred...
So that is it for this quick walkthrough, or fairly lengthy walkthrough, of the Xperia Z by Sony Mobile for T-Mobile network. Thanks again for watching.